Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the trial, the Dark Inside, where we get to face off Zodiark, which is a really epic trial. And what a cool boss this was. I've never, had a trial like this where my group basically lost about 5 to 6 times until we actually got it right. And I found that it was so much fun, like a journey in itself, to figure out with everyone else that was new in our group, which felt like pretty much everyone in the group was new. It was so much fun to figure out as a group what kind of mechanics they were and how to overcome them. So as we enter the scene, we see Zodiark being massive, like taking up all of one side of the trial and on this big square platform. And you can see his claws, and honestly, to me, since I played a lot of Hearthstone, he did remind me a little bit of Illidan, the demon hunter, just with a voodoo mask on. And so I went into this trial as a samurai because I've been doing all of my MSQs with my samurai, and I decided that I wanted to do it with a DPS because it's just really hard to queue for dailies with a DPS since everybody's playing Reaper and everybody's playing Sage. I am actually using my Gunbreaker, which is a tank, for all my dailies right now. And it's just like I instantly get into a queue with my Gunbreaker. So I would say for the first phase, since there are like 2 phases of Zodiark, because there's a cutscene in between, the first phase is fairly easy to dodge the AoEs. Especially after wiping out a couple of times, you get pretty good at doing the first phase flawlessly. The very first group that I got, actually, we did it about 5 times, and there were a couple of people who eventually had to go. One person said they had to leave, and the other person basically said that their armor was fully all broken and they had to leave. And so we actually abandoned it, but I really wanted to continue, and I'm sure a couple of other people in my group wanted to continue too. But since 2 people were wanting to leave, we decided to abandon. So that when I got this second group, we actually got through it in the first try. And I just thought that was super awesome. I was here I was thinking, okay, I gotta learn all of this with a new set of people. But I think what happened was either some of these guys in my second group have done it before, and I had the experience from my first group, so it was just really cool to get it on the first try with this group. And the cutscene here is really amazing because we get to see the full body of Zodiark, and you can see those tentacles and his wings, and you can see like his body is cut in half, which looks really cool. Then he flies down into the same spot, and this is phase 2, and he gets even stronger here. So we have this new mechanic where we have these arrows rotating, and this was one of the hard ones. It took a couple of tries to learn because I was very confused with the arrows. It takes a couple of tries to basically learn and understand what the heck is going on with those arrows and the rotation of the platform, and it was very confusing for me, at least. Let me know in the comments below if that was one of the harder things for you guys. With our group, it was definitely the rotating platform and the stars. And then when we come up to these 3 green circles, 1 will appear first or 2 will appear. With our case, we had the 2 on the sides, and so we moved to the middle and then to the side. And then we have this massive AoE, which sometimes you remember where it's gonna come from, and sometimes you just kind of forget where, and that's what happened to me right there. I thought it was gonna be on the complete opposite side, and I ended up getting hit. But a technique that I've learned to develop is always stay near the front for the massive AoE. It does help. For the rotating platform here, when you have the strips right across and then the rotating arrow, you kind of more or less have to go at the very edge, but it has to be the right edge because one will be wrong and one will be correct. And in this part here, this is the constellation part where you have to look into the sky and see the position you have to stay on the square. I end up looking at the wrong constellation first, as you can see. So you're supposed to look at the constellation on the sides of the boss, not the one opposite from him. So you gotta look at the sides and then the one in front of him. So I actually wipe out here, and we're all expecting the healer to LB3 here, and they do, and it's super hype because we get another shot, and then we're back on the platform to do the rotating one again. And I actually thought I was gonna get hit here, but I actually don't. Saved, and the stack marker comes, and we all have to like get together here and actually stay in the stack while all those beams shoot down. It was really funny when we first did this because the first group that I had, even I was running away. After the first hit with that stack beam, we would run away, and then the rest of the people who stayed actually died. Because there was another trial where we actually had to move away after the first beam shot us. So I think that was just sort of planted into my head, and I thought it was going to be the same thing, but it was, you actually have to stick in that stack marker so that everyone takes less damage. So here, over here you could see that I stick to the front and I dodge the first big massive AoE, but then I was caught off guard with the back massive AoE and I actually get hit. And now you can see that after all of this, the boss is at half health only. So this is a freaking tanky boss, and it is such a mission to actually kill him. And I love it. I love that it's such a big challenge because you don't do the mechanics once or twice. You have to do it like 3 to 4 times at least, so that it really puts you to the test that you have to know exactly how to overcome these mechanics, and it can't just be a fluke how you get past the mechanics, which I absolutely love about this boss. Because it's not just any boss, it is the boss for Endwalker. It really puts us to the test that we are players who have made it all the way up to this point, and we have to test our skills right here. So the big massive AoE comes again, and I am super at the front, so it becomes really easy. So I started doing that tactic, and it helps a lot. So in this part, actually, there's just a lot of AoE. It starts combining all of the AoEs together and different like mechanics, and it's just really fun. It's like the next level up. Like, oh, you learned my mechanics? All right, how about I shoot more at you then? And I was thinking, are we gonna do it? Is this the one, chat? Do you believe it that this is the run that we do it? So here are the strips again with the rotating arrows. And so what you do here is you go right to the very edge, and you gotta see a free space on the opposite side to the direction the arrows are pointing at. There's my position where I go right to the front, trying to avoid AoE. The 3 green circles will be coming out. So since the ones on the sides came out first, it'll be blasted. Then you go straight to it right after it gets blasted, and then dodge the middle one. You know what's really crazy is that when he starts getting really low, I get nervous. Like, I really just don't want anyone to mess it up because we are so close. And it's just like such a solid feeling. And I feel like that's exactly what's gonna happen when I do Savages and Ultimates. It's just gonna be like, oh my gosh, guys, we're actually doing like a dance, and we're perfecting it together with 8 people. And it just feels really, really good. And you just don't want anyone to mess it up. I mean, if someone does, and we do it again, like, it's fine. Because the more you do something, the better you become at it. The rotating strips again, so go to the edge and look for the space on the opposite side of where the arrows are pointing, and you should be fine. Every time I got the rotation part right, I felt really, really good that I understand it now. I remember near the very end when Zodiark was down to his last 10%, I wasn't even looking at his health anymore. I was just trying to concentrate so hard, looking at everything that was happening, because there is a lot of things happening at the same time. And so when we managed to defeat him, I was like, did we defeat him? Did we? And to my surprise, we did after all that work. I mean, I wasn't surprised, but of course I was just very happy that we managed to do it. And it took a while to get there because you're just so hyper focused of just making sure that you don't die. So I definitely wasn't expecting everything to just end just like all of a sudden. We're like, oh, we defeated him. And there you have it. So let me know in the comments below, did you guys have a lot of fun doing Zodiark Trial? What was the hardest part for you? How many times did your group wipe? I'd love to know all the details below. Thanks for watching this video of my Zodiark experience. See you in my next video.